Max decided on engineering right after high school, and he wanted to do computer engineering. So he decided KU was the only place he wanted to go. He would not look at other schools. So we enrolled at KU. He started in engineering, and after about a month in engineering in computers, he said, "This is awful. I can't stand this. I'm not going to do engineering." Well, then I talked him into trying another engineering field. I said, "Why don't you pursue mechanical engineering?" So he's going that route, and at about the end of his freshman year, he said, "That's it. I'm quitting college. I'm going to take business at JUCO. I'm done." And so we had a long talk. And so Max said, "Okay, I'll try it again." So he went back to school and never really quit school. He thought about it during the summer. He went back to KU. And he said, "Oh my gosh, it's so hard, but I'm going to try it." And he goes, "You know, you can't even go to the bars during the week. There's so much work to do." But he kept doing it. At the end of the year, he goes, "Mom, I get it. I get it."
So one of the things that I think is a very big strength of Max's was his constant positive attitude and ability to just bring that positivity into everybody else's day.
Favorite stories of Max is actually from Lawrence. It was in 2012 when KU just beat Ohio State to go to the finals, and everyone storms Mass Street, and it's a big party. Max was obviously already graduated at the time, and I'm walking down the sidewalk, and I get a big arm on my shoulder and hear Bob, and before I could turn around and see who it was, he was already picking me up, and didn't really know who it was until he started chanting one more game, and then he set me down, and we started talking. He said, he came up with a bunch of friends, and by that point, like 5 more people already surrounded him, talking with him and celebrating with him, and it was always pretty cool to know that if you saw Max the day before, 6 months before, whenever, if you were a friend, you were always going to be a friend, and he was not shy of showing that, and he liked embracing his friends, which is pretty cool.
So when you see Max, everyone would think, well, he's a tall guy, and he's typically been the tallest guy in the room. And what always stood out for me is that people looked up to Max in more than just a physical sense. He was somebody that embodied a lot of the character traits that Cuba looks for in an engineer.
So there's an interesting story. I went out to the job site for 3 or 4 days one week, came back on a Monday following, and somebody had put KU stuff all in my cube and pasted wallpaper, changed my mouse pad to KU mouse pad, and I couldn't even sit down in my chair because it had all kinds of KU stuff. And first person I thought had done it was Max, so I went over to Max's cube and gave him a little bit of a, "Hey, what do you think you're trying to pull?" And he goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." And I told him about my cube getting covered up with the KU stuff, and he goes, "That wasn't me, but can I see it?" He just had this big grin on his face, and that's what I remember the most about Max, was he always had a smile, and through the good times and the tough times on projects, he was the same person, and that's what I truly respected and admired about him. So yep, I miss him.
Another thing that was really important to Max was a sense of being on a team and making sure the team felt like a team. Funny story with Hewitt Power team that we came up with. The name of the team was Haynes Pain Train. The name of the project was Haynes. Max was a tall, pretty athletic guy. He could have, in being pretty young out of school, he could have easily picked all his best friends who were really athletic to build a power team, and he was pretty adamant that we built a team with just Haynes people so we could build some camaraderie and build everything that's going on and make our team a little stronger. So that was all Max is doing. We kind of formed a team. We weren't very good. We went 0-2 in the tournament, but it was probably for the best because we couldn't really walk afterwards.
I think Max was the most positive, happy, smiling guy I've had the pleasure of knowing. Just look at that grin if you don't believe me. Max's facial expression looks pretty much like this on every picture you'll see. I think Max had a positive impact on many people's lives. This was made very clear by the amount of people that attended his celebration of life service. My favorite quote from the service was, "Max wanted a family, so he would just have that many more people to love." That isn't a comment made by your typical 20-something engineer. Max was special. Max was a Superman fan. One of the quotes used in the book was, "There is a superhero in all of us. We just need the courage to put on the cape." Max knew how to put on the cape. Max's parents wanted people to wear something Max would have liked to his service, so a group of us wore Superman ties in his honor. I also think it is no coincidence that one of our Allen Project goals, selected by the team during our kickoff meeting, was solely related to positive energy and wanting the project to have a positive impact on the employees' lives. Max was absolutely a big part of the reason that this banner hangs above the front door to 9801. So what can we take away from this sad situation? The obvious answer is that having a 28-year-old friend and coworker suddenly pass away is tremendously tough for all of us. But I think there's more here that we can learn from this, and Max would have wanted us to take something away from his passing. In a speech Tom Shelby gave at the annual meeting in Omaha, he challenged everyone to not say bad things about other parts of Kiewit. Max would have never done that, and to be honest, I think we can do better. I'd like to challenge all of us to be like Max. Have a positive attitude. Bring positive energy to your work every day. Put a smile on your face. Be extra nice to your coworkers. Give someone a fist bump, a high five, or even a hug if they need one. And certainly don't do it because I'm asking you to do it. Do it for yourself. Having a positive attitude and being a team player will not only make you a happier person at work, but in your personal life as well. I'm sure that we were all interested in being happy, and Max had taught everyone he worked with how to do that. Now I'd like to welcome John Burns to the stage. He has an announcement of how we plan to memorialize our experience with Max.
Good afternoon. Thanks, Dan and Allison and the entire team that participated in the memorial book and video. Great job. I had the pleasure of getting to know Max in high school and had a very small part in recruiting him to Kiewit. So it's with great privilege and honor to announce the Max Ward Annual Memorial Scholarship. This scholarship will be awarded annually to an intern that most exemplifies Max's spirit, positive energy, and character. Our full-time employees will nominate an intern in line with the following criteria. First, a person seen as a source of positive energy for his or her coworkers and fellow interns. Next, a person who has the ability to calmly manage stressful situations and does so with a smile. Next, a person that is willing and excited to accept stretch assignments that go well beyond a normal intern scope and sees these assignments to successful completion. And finally, a person who is a good team member and exemplifies one Kiewit attitude and always is willing to help our other team members. The entire list of nominees for that year will be reviewed by Kiewit Friends of Max, with the recipient ultimately being selected by PT and Nancy. This is one small token of our appreciation for the impact that Max had on our organization. Thank you, PT and Nancy, for participating this year, here today, as well as in future years. Thank you.